Hello friends, this is me, Migrant Trader, and welcome to Trading in the Trenches. Here's where I put on live trades just to get you a chance to see what we do as traders in the trenches, especially those of us who've been around for quite a while. We look at these charts and we basically see gold. And as we're seeing gold right now, I'm going to go ahead and enter a trade because I see that the market looks like it wants to go. My terminals just jumped out. I'm going to go ahead and click this and say OK. The market has moved away from where I wanted to go, but I'm still going to take one slightly larger risk than I should and go ahead and get in right now. At this point, you can see I'm in with $225 loss. The camera just went, the time frame just went against me. I got $100 there. I'm going to click that out. Just like that, I made $100. How long did it take? Seconds. Even with the terminal going against me and different things I had to do, I was able to take a couple of seconds and convert that into income simply because I'm sitting here and I see what the market is doing and I know what it's doing. So what I'm going to do, if you think that's a gimmick, I'm going to go and get into another trade and see how soon we can make a little bit more money from this another trade. But right now I got to make quick assessments because at this point I've shown you nothing. I've said nothing about the setup to the market. I just got in, just opened up the terminal and decided, let me show you how money can be made here. Now, as fast as I'm talking, that's how fast money can be made or lost. Now, you have to know what the market is doing. You have to be able to read these charts to get a good understanding of where the trend is going. Now, what I'm looking at when I talk about trend, you can see from this bottom point, it just went and moved up and up and up until it got to a point that it stopped and then went in the other direction. Hesitated, went back up, went down, went back up, went back down. Now it's going back up again. So we're at this point right here where the market is hesitating a little bit, trying to find its footing to determine where does it want to go. Now I'm going to zoom in on this chart a little bit so we can get a wider view. Now with a wider view, we can see now for a period of time here, this market has just basically been down, trading up and down in this area right here. Now, looking at the current time, 12:17, your market is about ready to open up in another 45 minutes. So the market is gaining some traction, and as the traders come into the office and begin to look at their terminals and see what happened over the night, they'll start to position themselves, and then this market can very easily move outside of this range. Asia saw the market hesitating and staying for the last I don't know how many times, 6 hours, 2 hours, almost 3 hours, just back and forth in this range right here. And if you are trading a range strategy, then you can make a lot of money simply by finding where the tops and bottoms are and putting on your trades and let the market just take you to profits. So if the market hits to the top of this area here, you'll sell it and wait till it goes down closer to the center or below, and then you close it and make profit, and then turn around and do the same thing going back up. So the last significant candle, and these candles are 2 minutes, the last significant candle would be this candle right here. The sellers and the buyers were in this market. The buyers pushed the price way to the top, but then the sellers took over and brought the price back down within this range and kept going down. So this big action right here shows that the sellers have a vested interest at this point of pushing the price back down. So what I think I want to do is go ahead and sell right here. I'm going to sell right there. We're in at 200, and we're going to try to make a real quick profit on this again. I hope we're looking at the sellers, and right now the buyers have taken control, but we know the sellers are still camped out around this price, and that's what we're in this market looking for the sellers to jump in and take this price a little bit lower so that we can go ahead and get another quick profit. Now, once again, it's a little bit risky at this point because we know the market and the Europe market is about ready to open up, so there's a lot of volatility that might flood this market and push us out of this box. And if that does, we're going to have to take a loss. We're going to have to take a loss because we won't know how far that the market will want to run out of this box. But right now, we're still in this box. So with that, we have a small risk. So we can look at our risk and we can say, okay, right here, if it goes above this, I'm out. I don't want to mess with it anything higher than that. But at this point, I'm gonna hope that the sellers still have a vested interest in taking this price back down towards the center or maybe even to the bottom of this box before the hour is over. So hang in there with me. Let's see what's going to happen. Right now we're looking at $550 loss, but we don't get too worried about this because we already know we're going to accept this amount of loss. If it gets to this point, we'll accept that amount of loss. That'd be a $1,400 loss. But we're not really focusing on the loss, but we do manage that. You see, $1,400 loss is not a real big problem with us. So we can get in with a relatively safe trade here and take advantage of what we see the market is doing. Now, at any given point, I can put in a hedge, which means I can buy, which means I can basically say, okay, because we're in this area where the market may want to jump out of this box. If it does, we can go ahead and let that profit run above this stop loss. This would stop at 1400 and we can still run to profits. So we can hedge it that way. But right now the sellers are looking like they're trying to put a mount on this this thing and bring it back down. As soon as it gets me into profit, I'll take it as it comes. You see, so I want you to see how quick money can be made, and a whole lot more can be made if you have patience. But I just jumped in here to just put in a couple minutes of video so you can see when we who know how to trade come into this market and we see what the market is doing, we can jump in this thing and just start making money. Now, it's like walking up in the forest and you look running across this tree that had money hanging on it. Look what just happened. Bang. The market playing with me didn't want to accept my closing out. You see, this is a game that the brokers do sometimes, the terminals. This is why when we get on our Nova Trade terminal, then we can be able to have a better success. But the brokers sometimes, when they see quick profits being made like that, they can turn around and stall your profit. And you see, I tried to click on it, it would not accept it. That was that little beeping sound. It would not accept my entry to try to close it and lock in those profits like I was able to do with the first trade. But that's okay. We'll see. But you notice the market went in and it took me down to where I wanted to go. So now what I'm going to do, I should have done this. I'll put in a take profit. So if the market runs back down to this, we'll take that profit and just call it even. Okay, so right now, because when it gets to moving these real jittery fast movements, and this is a sign that Europe is about ready to come in the market now, putting in these orders and prices are moving real quick, so it can quickly jump out of this box on me. And I'm not liking that, but that's what the market does. And the broker here just took money out of my pocket so far. Hopefully we can correct that and get back in and make some more money. But you need to see it. This is the reality we have to play when we're in the trenches. Incoming artillery fire. We have to run for cover sometimes, and some things don't work out exactly the way you want it. But we set ourselves up, and I should have had this take profit in at this point right here. Just so as it got there, it would have taken it, closed it out automatically without me having to scramble and play with the terminal, with the games that they like to play and locking you out when the volatility starts to run on for you. And so that's the thing that you get to see. It's live, but that's what happens in the trenches. Okay, so now you get ready to close me out. I'm going to run this thing higher than that because I don't want it to take me out quite yet. So I want to give me a chance to scale this thing. So if it looks like it wants to run that way, I'll say, man, come on, terminal. The terminal's not trying to accept what I want to do. Okay, so this is games that the brokers play. Now my terminal's not working the way I need to work. What is this? I'm really being limited. I don't understand what it's trying to do to me right now. So as you see, in the trenches, you get all kinds of weird things going on. I can't even decide I want to buy this thing. It's limiting me at $20, where before you saw we was at $25. What is that all about? This is craziness. I was in at $25 before. It's just not accepting. You can see it's not me doing anything. There's $25, $75. What's happening here? $95. It doesn't want to go higher than 2 digits in here. $99. All right, we go 99. All right, play 99. I got to stretch this chart out a little bit so I can see where we are. So it was going in search for my stops we call that stop searching. See, you know, hunting for your stops. The brokers sometimes put this game on, looking for areas where they can take profit out of you before the market turns around and go back where it really wanted to go. So sometimes your broker is doing an evil, wicked deed against you, which is not proper. So this is something we need to know, and we hate this. So we have to just set ourselves up to play the game that they want to play and somehow try to come up ahead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in I'm going to put in an order, which is a sales order. And I'm going to put it in like right around there, a pending order. If it goes below there, oh, it doesn't want to take that either. It's my little telling me I'm ready to go or not. Pending, doesn't want to accept that either. What's happening? Oh, the trader. The market is really crazy the way it does this. It really stalls and limits what you can do. So let's see, will it accept this one? There you go. Now, if the price drops down and touches that, it's going to go into another sell. And we're going to look and see whether it's going to try to sell and come back down in this box. And if it does, then we're going to be looking at let's put on a higher trade to see whether we're able to get that one. You're looking at $92. $92 per price change. So the price changes at every 100,000th of a cent. And so in this case, if it moves every 100,000th of a cent, I'll be making $92. And it's rising against me. So you know what I'm going to do? I see the market wants to play this game and it still has a little bit more room, and 52, it looks like it wants to do this. I'm going to dance with it. It lets me. I just went in and put in a buy order. Now let's just see. Let's just see. Now, is it going to play the game or is it going to go with me? Buy and up here. And now I got this in to hedge me against this current loss. So if the price continues to go higher, then now we're going to be looking at $99 per change in price, and hopefully that will give me a chance to cover on the top side of what this thing wants to do. So let's just sit here and watch and see what it's going to do now that we're in the thick of this. This is trading in the trenches, folks. This is what we have to do. We have to play these games, and you've noticed I'm deeper in this because of the inequity done to me by the broker. Would not allow me to close out my trade when it was at a profit. Now it's putting me into this situation where I'm experiencing a loss on both of these trades. But that's okay because I already know where the market can go, and I decided to not allow it to take my loss up there because I knew that it was hunting for my stops. And now it's got me stretched out with my hedge going in the wrong direction. But that's okay because there you go. We got another hedge in. And now this is how the plot really thickens. So let's sit here now and see what's going to happen. All right. What's going to happen to us with the market trying to go up and it's trying to go down. And now we had it in a position where we have two sells and one buy. Our selling activity is greater than our buying activity. So the two sells are for 99, so they balance each other out. And therefore, our $25 sell is standing to be the difference in a stopgap. So we'll take and see whether we can get both of these things to give us a net profit. And if it does, then we have done a successful hedge, getting out of this, scaling out of this, and that's what we have to do. That's what we got to do in these trenches out here. So let's look at it. Let's see what happens. Now, I'm going to have to sit in and just wait because this is a game where you have to wait. You cannot be overly impatient with the market. The market will go at its own time frame. So each of these candlesticks are 2-minute time frames. And that's we can't rush the market because these are buyers and sellers all around the world making buying and selling decisions based on what they see on their terminals and what kind of strategies that they're trying to employ. And so we're all in here, and some of us who are buyers are going against the sellers, and we're going to see who's going to win out here. So you got to use strategies to position yourself so that you will not be losing too much, and that you can be able to have success. So that's what we're trying to do. So hey, let's see. Let's run it. Let's run it and see what the market's going to try to do with us. But I'm in a position where I can see where profit's being made. I take profit off the table because I know that this price is due back south, is due back down to come back down. So if I can get profit on the top side, I'll take that as it turns around and want to run back down. So that's what I'm going to do when this buy turns into profit. I'm going to go ahead and lock in profit and then let the sell orders fade back down so they'll get into the profit range as well. So that's the goal. If it wants to take me up above this point and give me some profit on the buy, hopefully my terminal, like right there, my terminal won't lock me out and allow me to take it. All right, I just took that in. So now that we have a little bit of profit up here, let's see that the market turns me around. And now we have these two sell orders that I'm looking to give me a net profit on. And let's see how that works. Because if we drop below this current price entry point right here, then we know as it starts falling, it's going to be giving me more and more profit. But right now, ooh, it wants to go up there and really challenge me. You see, Europe is really pushing the deal here. And I don't like that. But that's okay. It's going to fall back down. Let's see what's going to happen here. All right, so let's go. See, if you notice sometimes the market runs up there trying to hit your stop orders before it turns around and go back in the other direction. This is why your stop orders cannot be too close to the price action, because you can take an unnecessary loss right before it's going to turn around and start giving you profit. And this, you can see where it's heading right now. I mean, if this continues in this direction, it's going to go back down into this box area where profits are going to be made, which would have been lost because it would have taken me out for a great loss up here. And right before it's going to turn around and go back down where I can experience maybe some tremendous profits. Let's just see what it's going to do. But right now, we're getting ready to get a net. We're getting ready to look like we're going to tap out. Oh, we just entered that extra trade we had in there. And so it looks like we might end up with a net profit very soon coming up, which gives you an opportunity to close it out with a total net deal. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get a net profit on all of this. And so that's the whole idea to, like right now, we just took those out. And we have 22.43 ahead. And this is down at 900. If I was to take it out now, we're a net profit on the deal. But you see what's happening? The price is moving back down to our original entry where the market went looking for my stop and couldn't find it right before it started coming back down into this profit area. So you need to see. Now, I should have taken that profit. I'm talking too much and letting this thing go back away from me. And I don't particularly like this idea that I'm talking and not making the right decisions when I need to. But nonetheless, I can close at any time at this point and experience a net profit. But once again, there was no stress. And you notice what I had to do. I had to stretch out my stop losses. Otherwise, I would have been at a huge loss. 11,000, I think it went to 11,000, some kind of spike. See, Europe is coming in the market, and like I told you, the volatility is running, and it pushed it back down into the box. And I think it might play this game again, up and down. So I need to decide what I want to do. I'm at 22.43. Do I want to take a bigger loss than I need to with this particular trade, as long as I'm getting a net profit? Or do I want to scale this thing back down and see if it's going to go back into the box? Now I'm at a net loss if I take it out, so I got to work with it. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I might enter another trade to cover what we're dealing with right here. Matter of fact, what I'll do, I'll come back up here and I'll put another order that comes below here. It'll enter into another trade right there and move me into profits. That's a sell limit order right there for 92 lot sizes. The lot size is 92, so every pip or every change in price will give me $92. Let's see. Look like it's trying to come back down to that. And sometimes it goes to these things, touch it, and then bounce off. You see, and that's another thing that the brokers do. So the brokers, it's like playing poker, in the dealer knows everything that you have. So you can't bluff the dealer when he knows everything's in your hand. So he'll fold every time when he knows he's going to take a loss, and he'll hold his hand every time he knows he's going to take a gain. And that's what these brokers do. That's why we always search for brokers who are going to be honest in how they're going to run their brokerage. Otherwise, they're pitting themselves against you, their client, and making your money, taking your money out of your own pocket when you think they're your broker in the game for you. They're not. They're in the game to make a profit. And You got to know that, and once you know that, you live with it and you go ahead and adjust yourself accordingly. So you don't marry your broker, you don't trust your broker, you do what you have to do to protect your own self. Like right now, I'm going to close both of these out. Oh, he wouldn't let me take that second one out. You see that? 1275. Is it going to go any deeper? It might bounce back up higher than this. So 1400, let's just see real quick. We just got 1472, which was to cover that. Now, if I was to take this out lower, as long as it's lower than 1472, then it's, the last trade that I entered covered this sufficiently. And so I'm playing and talking too much. And when I should have closed it, it didn't take it. So once again, it's trying to keep me in the water, even though I'm, keep my head above water. It's trying to keep me in there. So I got to see that, and it very well may take me back into profit. And so let's just see what's going to happen. But I know I'm concerned that it's stopping at the edge, at the top of this box, and it's not wanting to go back in that box. I think this is the influence that Europe is having right now on this price. And we're dealing with gold right now. So the price of gold is in that area now where European market wants to come in and see whether they can regain some of this territory that was lost overnight. And that's why I got to start thinking about scaling again, once again, to get back out of it. I'm going to put on one more trade at the same spot and see whether it can get me below here, take some more money out, and then see if I can close the whole show out, So that's how we rolled in the trenches, and the money is here. It's good so far. We've got 37.15 on us, and this is trying to challenge that, and that's what frustrates me. So I'm gonna move you up a little higher. So you bounce in a little higher, we can take some profit from you. And it's just rolling up now. It's really trying to see 30 more minutes, 23 minutes, and Europe is open for business, grand opening. And we don't know what it's going to do. It's probably showing us signs right now that the European traders are getting in and they're pushing the prices back up. And so that's putting me in a position where I might have to scale this thing. And yeah, I think I'm going to scale this thing. 30 seconds. I'm going to scale this thing, put in 2 buys, and I want these buys to take me up to this area right in here. I think they'll do that for me. 2 buys at 99. So I got to do these kinds of things to protect myself against what the market wants to do. And I know the nature of the European market. When it opens up, we get this kind of volatility. So I need to sit here and stage this thing. So 17.1597. Take my profit at 17.1597. Run that. That's not what I'm trying to do. So now we're in trouble. The market wants to run against me. Well, the sell made a profit. Let's take that off the table because I don't know, it might bounce back off. Yeah, it did. Look at that. Bounce back off. Now I'm trying to bounce back up there, so I'm glad I took that off. Now we're at 4,083 profit, and we're at $9,000 loss right now. We're looking for these 2 buys to take us into positive territory so they'll outstrip this $125 volume loss. But this is what we got to do. We don't know exactly where it's going to go at this moment, but we're putting ourselves in position to try to take advantage of whatever it wants to do in whatever direction it wants to go. But I'm still thinking that we have some profit up above here. That's why I need to get this I do. I'm supposed to modify and I close the stupid trade. Oh my goodness. That's not good. Look at that. 30 seconds. Oh man. Oh boy. Try to modify it to get my stop, take profit on it, and then hit the wrong button. Oh boy. $3,000, man. Now our net profit is at $1,500 for the day. 10 seconds. I do. All right. So let's make some money. Let's see. It's trying to motivate me to make money now. Trying to motivate me to make money. Let's go. You're right there. You just did that. Right there. That. I'm gonna buy you. All right. So, watch you again. Just made some of that money back. As it pushing higher, 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 higher. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. All right. Took that out. Now this stop loss here. Now we're at 74.79, so we're back in the same kind of situation. You see what Europe is doing? Pushing this thing way out. Since we are at 74.79, we made profit. We've covered ourselves. This 43, this right here, I don't want this to go much higher than this. So I'm gonna just say, you know what? I'm hoping you're gonna bounce, you're gonna fall from where you are, but if you go higher than this, I don't want to deal with it. And there you go. It recognized I was that close, and it took me right out of the game. So we had a total net profit of $2,800 after all of that. So you know what? I'm not satisfied. I'm getting back in this market. I'm selling this thing because I know it's at a place where it should stop and go back down for me. So I'm selling it. I want more money. Put two of you in. Sell, give me money. 30 seconds. Now I've tried to close the second one and it wouldn't take it. So my terminal is stalled. You see what the brokers do? Now I can't do anything. Now it closed out. 368, 368. All right. All right, still wants to go down some more. See, I'm at a point now where I'm not sure what the terminal is going to do. It might just start not even responding to me. So here's what we did. Here's what we do. We started with a clean slate, 100,000. What we've just done, we made 3.54% on our money in this time frame. I can keep drilling down, looking for more, or I can say, you know what? I have just done more than my bank would have given me if I put this in my savings account. And whole year they would have held that money and still given me less than what I've been able to make. Let's just take a quick look. My first trade went in at 8:15.56. My last trade just went out at 8:41. So 41.33.15. So we're looking at 26 minutes. 26 minutes to make 3.5% on $100,000. I consider that success. Now, how we got that? Now, remember, what you need to know is traders win and lose. The game is cover your losses so you have net profits. And that is what you saw me do. I call it scaling in or scaling out. Basically, what I'm trying to do is enter a trade with the purpose of taking profit away from the loss and then being able to close the profit at a higher profit than the loss and close the loss and therefore took a net profit on that. That's what I like to do so that I'm still going to end up ahead. So the fact that we was looking at these amounts of losses here, 2,025.74 and 46.75, that looks ominous. These are the two losses that I took, but they were scheduled losses because I knew I took those losses in exchange for wins. Look at these monies that we had around these. After I took this loss, look at this, 37, 14, 4, 13. This covered all that. Now down in here, I took this loss and then look what happened. I took this profit, these profits, and this. So these covered this losses. So both of my losses were covered. So the fact that we're looking at this, say, oh, you could have had another 4,000. Well, wait a minute. These trades would not have happened if this would have been closed out. If this would have been closed out, these other trades would not have happened. You see, but because the market ran against me, because the broker was doing things, and then Europe is pushing the prices, I had to cover them. And because I had to cover them, I knew that I had to schedule them as losses, provided that I can cover them with net profit. And that's what I did. So I end up where I end up. And now, if I still want to trade this market, what I'll do is scale my lot sizes back down. Take the risk out of the game. If I still want to trade, I gotta do that so that I won't end up losing myself, because if I'm losing my focus, I should be like, at this point, I'm done for the day. And if I was saying, I just want to trade so I can make more on my money than the bank would give me, I could stop and be done for the rest of the year and still be ahead of my bank. I have certificates deposit was giving me 3.25%. That was considered good money. I just made 3.54. Now, how do we get that? Let me throw a calculator here. 3.54. Let's clear this out. We started with we've earned $3,540. We started with 100,000, so we're going to divide our profits by our original amount that we started with, $100,000. If I multiply this times 100%, then we are seeing 3.54% interest earned on my $100,000 in 26 minutes compared to 1 year that the bank would have given me. You get the point. So guess what? I'm out. We'll get back in the trenches on another time, but I like to show you what goes on in the trenches. This is trading in the trenches, folks. People get online and they're going to edit their videos and show you all the gloss, and you're not going to see them, actually in the trench having to work their way through some challenges. But I want you to see that so you can know that I can get in here and I see what's happening. I told you what was going on as it was going on, and the market has done that. You see, the market tried to run back into this box, but because the Europe market is now 15 minutes from being open, this preparatory motion took the price and ran it to a higher place. All of this information right here that was going on, when Europe got ready to sit at the desk and start opening up, all of a sudden the game changed a bit. Now, Europe may very well, if we come back 5 hours from now when Europe session is almost over, this price may very well be up in these regions here. It may even be above. Territory lost overnight by the sellers. They came in and took control of the market and pushed it down. Now the European buyers are now making a stand against that, and they're running this price back up. So where's it going to go? We don't know. But I'm going to put on one more trade. Well, maybe one more trade. Who knows? If I put on one more trade, I might have to put on 5 more trades. Depends on what that one trade does. And I know some of you like this. You like this action. You like to see the war. You like to see blood and gore. You like that kind of stuff, don't you? I know, my friends. Let me scale this thing in. Let me see. Let me move this out. I see what the prices are. Right now, the sellers are trying to move down from this high right here. You see, the market really is very predictable. You see, as it rises up, it looks for the previous side of the mountain that it came down, and it looks at these points as key areas where it can go to and find a foothold before it decides what it wants to do next. So I know that it went here, and it tried to go to this point right here, but it didn't do that. So this point right here is still in its scope. Now, what I need to do, as long as this doesn't go back into this box here, then my bias now at this point, my bias is up, but it's intermediately up, because if it goes down below this level right here, then I know that more than likely it's going back down to the edge of this box and maybe even below. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in as another trade. Put it back over here as another trade right below there. If you go below there, then you are probably trying to go further down. And so we want to catch you. We want to catch you going down and see whether you can help us. Now remember, our lot size now is lower at $2 per price change, so that we're not going to be high risk, because I can see there's potential of this thing going upwards from here. So I'm just looking at, if it's going to go below this, will it go back, hit me back down to the edge of this box here? And that's what I'm thinking it might want to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this thing up and take a profit right there. I'm going to do a quick little jauntlet right there. If you go below there and go there, we'll stop you out and say, okay, see, I told you so. And then whatever you do from there is what you do. But we don't worry about that, because we know the market will be here next hour, tomorrow, next week. It will do the same things that we've seen here today in this session. So we're not going to stress none of this out. We're going to wait for the market to come along looking for a dance partner, and it's going to pick us up at these different points. Like right now, it's about ready to pick me up. It looks like it wants to pick me up and run me right back up. That's what it looks like it wants to do. But that's okay. We're at $2. We already covered what this thing's going to happen. So that's okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale this and say, If it goes, it gets me in and goes above this point, then I know it means bad and it wants to go higher than this. So I will not allow it to do that. I'll minimize my loss right there. But right now, I have a little trade on $16, $18, and we're looking for this thing in the next 2 minutes to take me down into a profit area. I'm looking for it to take me down to where my take profit area is set. So it automatically closes. So let's see whether we can get that to happen. It just is knocking at the door. Let's just see. Should I close out and take this little bit of profit, or shall I let it hit my take profit? And so you can see what happens when it automatically hits us take profits. Now this thing has a spread on it, which means it might not hit my take profit and close it. You know, the bottom gray line might hit it, but the top yellow line is what I need. I need the yellow line to hit that for it to actually close it out for me. So let's see, it's getting very close now. It's getting very close to going into the box. There you go. It just hit it. And there you go. So you can see now that it wants to go into the box, but hey, we already told you what we knew it was going to do. If it go below there, it's going to try to go to the edge of the box. It did that now, and it's stopping, bouncing around, trying to decide, do I want to go in the box or I don't want to go in the box? Where are we heading? So look, what I wanted you to see is in the trenches. We know what's going on. And sometimes what's going on is not what we like, but at least we know what's going on, and then we can do things to protect ourselves, or at least minimize, you know, the collateral damage. That's all. That's the game we're playing. Europe has came in and made a big move, and then the sellers say, "Wait a minute, Europe, hold it. What's going on here?" And they brought the product right back down because see, Asia got comfortable with this area here, and so the price wants to go back to where it was comfortable. See, the buyers and sellers were comfortable going up and down in this area. But then all of a sudden the seller said, wait a minute, you guys aren't playing fair. Why are you jumping out of the box? So the sellers want to bring it back into the box. But the buyers are trying to say, wait a minute, this is new territory for us. We don't want to be in this box. So what I want to do now is, I want to delete this. I want to say buy. Because I know the bias right here now is to buy. So if it goes above this point right here, I want to, well, if I wait too late and talk too much, it's going to happen. I'm going to take advantage of it. Okay, if you go above this line, I'm expecting that you want to go back up higher. So what I'm going to do is let you do that. And I'm going to put my take profit. It's about right there. Small profit, but which is really, if it goes above this line right here and gets in, this right here should be easily hit. I mean, if it's not easily hit, then it really wants to go down. But see, I'm sure that if it goes above this and I'm in already, now I'm expecting it to take me back up here. But the sellers might have something against that. So I need to keep that under close observation. And I can take profit at any time that I want to, as long as we're in profit, knowing that it's going to play this game and it may want to, you know, play around and fall back through, because it's still, the seller still wants to take it in the box. But the buyers are trying to take over and say, no, we like this territory up top here. We want to go north. And the sellers will say, wait a minute, south. We had a playground in the south. Why are you trying to take me north? But, you know, I see, look what just happened. Look where it stopped. It stopped right where it took my profit. Now, it might want to go even higher than that. Yeah, it's going a little bit higher. And it might go a lot higher. But in the trenches, my friends, we know what's happening. So play with it. If you know what you're doing, but if you don't know what you were doing, you're losing at every turn. We lost some money and we showed you, but we knew what to do with that loss. We knew how to handle collateral damages. And now we're just sitting here playing around as I'm talking to you, and the market is just going exactly to where I told you it was going to go and giving me profits. See, you just saw that. So now, hopefully, if you see what's going on, if you want me to trade for you, go ahead and click in the link, and I'll open up a Nova Trade account for you where we'll be able to take your monies. And in many cases, no, I can't make any promises to anybody because I am not your financial trader. I am not your financial advisor. I'm just migrant. I'm in the trenches trading for you, showing you what's going on in the trenches. And now if you want me to help you, if you find yourself in the trenches, go ahead and click on the link and we can hold your hand and see what we can do from that point forward. But at this point, I think I've done enough. I think you've seen enough. We played the game. We played the game that the brokers play, and we still won. We played the game when the European market came in, and we still won. We've covered our losses and we made gains. And now we showed you when the market is doing certain things, we can predict where it's going to go. Like right now, it's bouncing back down. Guess where it's going to go from here? It's going to bounce back up. You know, it's going to bounce back up because the market can only go in two directions, down and up. What goes down bounces back up. What goes up comes back down. So I can tell you that with good assurance. And the question is, am I not wrong? Am I right? I'm right 100% of the time because the market will always bounce up after it went down and it will always go down after it went up. When will it do that? That's not our concern. Will it do it? We know that. We know that. And so look at it bounce back up, you know, as we're talking. See, so if you think I don't know what I'm talking about, that's up to you. But the market is just doing that. I'm not controlling what's happening. This is real live information. This is what's going on. I could have got in there and made more money. So like right now, I can make money as it turned around and go back down momentarily. Okay, it's going to go down slightly again momentarily before it bounce back up and go above this. What did it just do as I'm talking? Hey, all right, enough of that. Click on the link, fill out the form, enroll. We'll get together and we'll talk and see what you want to do and see how your money can work for you in the future going forward. The bank wants to give you maybe 3.25% on your money. I just basically went ahead and did. Now I'm at 3.66% on my money, and look at the market. It could have been taking me to 10%, 15%, 20%. The other day I did 67% in one day. Yesterday I did 31%. Listen, as I'm sitting here talking to you and the market is doing what I'm telling you, it gets quite boring sitting here making money as this market is doing exactly what you know it's going to do. But it's a good kind of boring. Boring in the sense that you can predict what it's going to do, and then it does it, and you profit on that. Boring in the sense that it's not doing too many new things that you never saw and you don't understand. Okay, so it's not boring like, oh, and I hate doing this. I love this. I love because I can sit right here with the big banks and the multinational corporations, and I can make 3.6% taking money out of their hands. And maybe other smaller investors don't know what's going on. But I can get in here, sit up at the table, and make a slice of the action for myself and my family. And then those who want to follow my advice. So this video is getting kind of long. Let me close this thing out. But remember, this is me, Migrant, the trader, trading in the trenches. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.